Boy, oh boy, do we have to talk about this. Ladies and gentlemen, hello. Anybody there? Anybody watching? Anybody understanding what's going on in the world of politics today? Somebody explain to me this. Pentagon fails seventh audit in a row, but says progress was made. What the I want to get into this story because we got to talk about many other things. Look, we got to talk about Zelensky and the Trump effect because we got some good news over there, but something fishy is happening in politics. And this is why Vivek Ramaswamy and Elon Musk are going to be important with the government efficiency program. I just want you to look at this. This is not fake. This is real. Pentagon fails seventh audit in a row. And a story just broke out not too long ago, literally earlier today. I just want to point this out. That just in, Pentagon now unable to account for $824 billion budget, failing its seventh consecutive financial audit. This is not fake. This is a real story. Make sure to smash the like button. Let's go into the details real quick. The Pentagon Friday failed its seventh audit in a row, with the nation's largest government agency still unable to fully account for its more than $824 billion budget. Though officials stress they are making good progress toward a clean audit in 2028. Are you kidding me? A clean audit in 2028? This is real. This is not a story I'm just making up. This is crazy. So the Department of Defense technically earned a disclaimer of opinion, meaning it failed to provide sufficient information to auditors to form an accurate opinion. What? But it gets even worse, ladies and gentlemen. The goal is to earn an unmodified audit opinion or a clean audit that says the financial statements are accurate. A qualified opinion says there are omissions and concerns, but the finances are generally reliable. Under Secretary of Defense Comptroller and Chief Financial Officer Michael McCord said that despite the disclaimer of opinion, which he expected, the Defense Department has turned a corner in its understanding of the depth and breadth of its challenges. What the hell are they talking about? Here's a nice little breakdown real quick of what's going on in the world of politics today.
Pentagon has failed its seventh audit in a row, but they said progress is being made. So don't worry, they're making progress. The nation's largest government agency is still unable to fully account for more than $824 billion budget, though officials stress that they are making good progress towards a clean audit in 2028. So let me see if I understand this. If I get audited here in 2024, but I promise with all of my heart that I'm going to make progress, you're going to give me till 2028 in order to get things fixed? Is that what I'm understanding? They went on to state that they have turned a corner in its understanding of the depth and breadth of its challenges. Obviously fucking not. You ain't passed an audit since you started doing the audit. How do some of the most high-ranking officials that we have in this country that are in charge of the defense of this country not fully understand the depth and the breadth of its challenges?
Yeah, what's crazy about this is I've heard a lot of Democrats come out and say that the government, the Department of Government Efficiency, which is DOGE, that's stupid, and that Trump is stupid, and that Vivek Ramaswamy is stupid, and that Elon Musk is stupid, and that they shouldn't do it. Ladies and gentlemen, we don't even know where their money is at. We're talking about they can't account for $824 billion. And we're not going to complain about that. We're just going to let it be. I told you guys, you know what a Democrat shield is? Someone that protects an administration at all costs, right? I've never once heard people not like you here. If a Republican does something stupid, you guys call it out, because I've heard this a lot, and I want to get into details of this. They're called rhinos. Republicans get called out for insider trading all the time, along with Democrats. But this right here is ridiculous. The fact that people are, the Department of, the Department of Government Efficiency is going to be a stupid. It's the most necessary thing. Look what just came out today. 7 audits in a row, and they just started auditing in 2018. So that means that for decades, we've never audited these people.
when it comes to where their money is going. They went on in this article to talk about not once, not twice, but 3 or 4 different times and how, listen, you shouldn't freak out because we're making progress. But then way down at the bottom of that article, the Pentagon expects the final number of clean qualified audits to be roughly the same as it was last year. That doesn't sound like progress to me. That sounds like stagnant. That sounds like you doing the same thing over and over and over again. Progress is when you move further away or when you move forward. This sounds like you stayed in the same motherfucking place. Do not say we failed. As I said, we have about half clean opinions. We have about half that are not clean opinions. So if someone had a report card and that is half good and half not good, I don't know what you call the student or the report card a failure. We have a lot of work to do. I think we're making progress. We're not talking about fucking children here in the 9th grade math class. We're talking about people who are the head of the government of the United States, who just came out the other day and told us that aliens come from the ocean, who are in charge of all of our weapons.
Yeah, did you guys hear about the aliens coming from the ocean? We got to get ready for that hoax next. Oh, that's going to be crazy.
Weaponry and all of the technical bullshit that goes into all of that. But you want to compare yourself to a 4th grader? To a child? Are you okay? Defund the Pentagon. If we do that, then we'll lose all of our military funding and then we won't be a safe country and nobody will be here to save us. Bitch, the only thing we've been saving the last 3-4 years is Ukraine. Defund them. All of them. Extensive audit. Fire everybody. Fucking audacity.
Yeah, she's freaking out for the right reasons. And look, let's go here real quick to meet Kevin. He's with his son, but this was a great video. Take a listen to this. Make sure to smash the like button. We got a lot more to talk about. So once again, for those who are coming in here for the first time today, it was reported that a lot of people are trying to ignore this because they're so focused on Donald Trump, which is just crazy to me that we're just focusing on just Trump and his new administration and his cabinet picks instead of focusing on the fact that the Pentagon failed 7 audits in a row, but says progress was made. What type of progress is being made when you're failing 7 times?
Hey everyone, me Kevin here. So we just heard that the Pentagon failed yet another audit. And what you've got to know about this is a truth that a lot of people aren't really hitting. First of all, it sounds ridiculous that the Pentagon keeps failing its audits and that we don't fully have an accounting of where over $800 billion are going to at, frankly, a government agency that spends a whole lot of money on weapons and, bombs and giving money away.
By the way, you know who money they're spending? Can I ask you guys this question? Whose money are they spending? How do these people have money to spend in the first place? Whose money are they spending? Whose money? We don't have a right to question what our government is doing with our money. It's literally our money. We pay taxes every year. I've just paid a crazy amount of taxes. And we have the right to be angry about where the hell our money is going. We have to have a say, no? Is it not our money these people are spending? The taxes come from us, the people, the United States of America, us, we.
Are losing money and, supporting other proxy wars. But really, the scariest part is that the United States did not actually ever audit the Department of Defense or the Pentagon since 2000 until 2018.
Until 2018, that was the first time we ever audited our government, the Pentagon, the Department of Defense. That's the first time we ever. 2018, under whose administration did we start doing that? Isn't that crazy? Yo, am I bugging the hell out? Isn't that just absolutely crazy that we didn't start auditing these people until 2018?
To me, that's actually the scariest part, is even though we just failed an audit again for the 7th time in a row, which, quite frankly, if any of my companies failed an audit 7 times in a row, it'd be a big problem. You'd go bankrupt. Super Microcomputer can't even get through one audit, and they're basically going bankrupt. I mean, they'll be okay. They submitted their plan.
Yeah, just know, guys, if you guys send too much money, if you send too much money through Zelle, right? Through Zelle or anywhere, just know that they're coming for you. The IRS is coming for you. They're going to come get this money. One of the craziest things that they told me, it said, Lou, if you don't pay your taxes, they're coming for you. In fact, one of the biggest sayings in the United States of America are 2 things that are for sure. Somebody help me out with this. 2 things that are for sure. in this world are death and taxes. Those are the two things that are for sure.
All right, President-elect Trump continues to make key appointments for his next administration. Now, yesterday, he announced that Vivek Ramaswamy and Elon Musk would lead the new Department of Government Efficiency. Earlier today, Vivek took to Twitter saying in part, quote, "If we're ever going to crush the bureaucracy, it's going to happen from the outside. Just the hard truth." And today, the department's X account was launched with a tweet saying, quote, "Working overtime to ensure that your tax dollars will be spent wisely." Vivek Ramaswamy joins us now. All right, so
a lot of people are calling Vivek stupid. He doesn't know what he's doing. I think that people really like, bro, we need a government shakeup. Like, we really do. Look at this. I just wanted to play it. This is from The Hill. I just like, for those coming in here for the first time, I just wanted to read it one more time. People that complain all the time about where we're going want to do absolutely nothing about it. And then Trump launches DOGE and people are still complaining. In fact, they're defending our government now. They're defending the Pentagon. And what's crazy is that this is indefensible. If you're an American taxpayer and you hear that the Pentagon failed 7 audits in a row, but says progress was made, isn't that alarming? But no, we hate Trump so much that we don't, you know what? The Pentagon's doing a great job. That's what it sounds like to me, is that they're just turning pages and they're saying, well, the government is doing a hell of a job. Don't worry about the government.
Partnering with the smartest guy in the country. There's no doubt about it. And the richest guy. But you look at Elon Musk and he's a genius. If you can figure out a way to go save those astronauts that are lost in space, God bless you. I could never figure that out in 500 lifetimes. So I admire that. He's talking about $2 billion in cuts by identifying waste, fraud, and abuse. Is that a realistic number? That's a big number.
Yeah, 2 billion isn't a big number, but 2 trillion is, Sean, and that's what we're looking at here. Look,
2 trillion. I stand corrected.
No, I want to be very clear about the scale. I want to be very clear about the scale that we're thinking here. We're not thinking small. We're playing big here because we have a once-in-a-generation mandate right now. The American people have voted for drastic reform of the government, and our federal government is broken. It's no secret that it is a fourth branch of government, the administrative state, that makes most of the rules, that creates a federal bureaucracy that's hampering our economy. So what do we want to do? We want to go in and slash and burn that bureaucracy to help Americans, stimulate the economy, and to restore self-governance again, Sean. The people we elect to run the government.
Hold on, guys. Hold on. Somebody told me to bring this up. I just want to bring this up real quick. What is the national debt today? Oh, my God. This is so bad. Dude, this is so crazy. I mean, no, this is a real number. The $35 trillion. It's about to hit $36 trillion, guys. This is the national debt. It's just growing. And maybe by at least trying to launch a department of government efficiency program where we keep track of what they're spending the money on, maybe we can cut back on a little bit of this. But this is ridiculous. It's a real number. It's not a fake number. This is where we're at right now. This is what the national debt is. And it seems that it's growing like $1.2 trillion every month or something like that. Could be wrong there.
They're not even the ones who run the government anymore. It's these unelected bureaucrats. Republican politicians have talked about fixing this for a long time, not with a lot of progress. So I do think it's going to take a couple of outsiders. Elon and I have built a great friendship over the last year. We're working together intensely, and we're not going to stop till we get the job done.
When Ronald Reagan became president, on the issue of defense, he called it a gap of vulnerability. China, Russia, they have hypersonic missile technology. We do not. We're going to have to spend a lot of money on defense to catch up and to surpass our enemies. Social Security, Medicare are headed towards insolvency. We'll have to spend money there. To me, that money is going to be made up through energy dominance. That's where I think our greatest opportunity is. Your thoughts?
Look, part of what's holding back energy dominance in this country is that administrative state. Look at the regulations coming out of the Department of Interior, the slow permitting requirements, how hard it is to open a new refinery. So I think that is the root cause of our failure as a country, is this unelected fourth branch of government. And I think they look at elected officials as these cute little puppets that come and go every little while. Not anymore. There's a new sheriff in town. Donald Trump's the president. He has mandated us for radical, drastic reform of this federal bureaucracy with the learnings of that first term. And you look, Elon and I mean, Elon's solving major problems of physics. I came from the world of biology. What we're solving here now is not a natural problem. This is a man-made problem. And when you have a man-made problem, you better darn well have a man-made solution. That's what we're bringing to the table. We're assembling the brightest minds in the country. This is the equivalent of a modern Manhattan Project to take on, I think, the major problem holding our country back. It's the federal bureaucracy. Target that cost, save the money, restore self-governance. And Sean, I think we did something pretty novel here, if I may say so. If I just want to say is this Department of Government Efficiency, it is built with an end date. We want to be done by July 4th, 2026. So for the first time in history, creating a department, creating a new government project that is designed to end when its work is complete. That's on the 250th anniversary of America's Declaration of Independence. And that's the gift we want to give this country.
Okay. Do we want to give this a try? Does this not sound good? Yeah, Sean Hannity was interrupting, but does this not sound like something we should try in the United States of America, knowing how trillions of dollars we are in debt? Is it not something we want to try now that we know that the Pentagon failed its 7th audit in a row? In fact, look, we have a liberal here, John Stewart, going at it, right? So the Pentagon just failed its 7th audit and says it can't account for its more than $824 billion budget. In 2023, just last year, John Stewart asked Deputy Defense Secretary Kathleen Hicks about the Pentagon failing its audits. Here's what this conversation was like. Here we go.
To be doing, like, there is a lot of waste, fraud, and abuse within a system.
Audits and waste, fraud, and abuse are not the same thing. So let's decompose these.
Please educate me on
sure.
What
so an audit is exactly what you just described,
yes.
Which is, do I know what was delivered to which place?
Right.
The ability to pass an audit, or the fact that the DOD has not passed an audit, is not suggestive of waste, fraud, and abuse. That is completely false right there. So
what is
now it's a question of, it's suggestive that we don't have an accurate inventory that we can pull up of what we have where. That is not the same as saying we can't do that because waste, fraud, and abuse has occurred.
So in my world,
yeah,
that's waste.
How is?
Thank you. Even John Stewart, who really does care about these things, look at the way she's trying. Again, most voters aren't always into politics, but I will say one thing about most voters in the United States of America. Even though liberals are having a field day with the fact that most voters are not college graduates, whatever the hell that's supposed to mean, as if we don't have common sense, something about this conversation tells me that this woman is trying to bullshit John Stewart, and it's very much not that hard to see. Right? She's trying to use big words.
That waste.
She's trying to basically say it's not government waste, but he flips the script. And once again, she has to do the explaining. I'll go back.
It's not the same as saying we can't do that because waste, fraud, and abuse has occurred.
So in my world,
yeah,
that's waste.
How is that waste?
If I give you $1 billion and you can't tell me what happened to it, that to me is wasteful. That means you are not responsible. But if you can't tell me where it went, then what am I supposed to think?
She's just laughing at his face. Laughing in his face. This is not a MAGA guy. This is not a random person, by the way. This is John Stewart. This is something that we can all come together on, right? I would hope so. No matter who you voted for in this election, this is something that we could come together on. The fact that she's just like laughing in the face of John Stewart when he says, well, if you can't allocate where this money is going and you're failing audits, isn't that waste? And doesn't that mean that you're doing a bad job? Here's what she has to say about that.
And when there has been reporting, I mean, this is not, look, I'm not saying this is on you and that you caused this. But I think it's a tough argument to make
sure
that
I didn't cause it.
an $850 billion budget to an organization that can't pass an audit and tell you where that money went. Like, I think most people would consider that somewhere in the realm of waste, fraud, or abuse, because they would wonder why that money isn't well accounted for. And especially when they see food insecurity on military bases, and they see.
You want to talk about that? Because that's a good, we should be talking. I mean,
Well,
I'm
it's
trying to
all-
understand
is-
where you're trying to go, other than the dollars, which really bother you.
I think it doesn't really.
What? She's just laughing. And she wants to change the conversation to go somewhere else. Right? Well, once again, like we're the dumb ones. We didn't graduate college. We don't understand politics. We don't understand these things. But once again, you have somebody like Jon Stewart standing in front of you, interviewing you and asking you, and all you could do is laugh about the fact that he's obsessed with the fact that you guys are doing a hell of a job, a bad job, excuse me, on allocating this money and basically billions of dollars. And she says, but you're worried about the money. Well, isn't that something that we should all be worried about, since we all are taxpayers here?
Bother me. I think it's all connected.
Okay.
I think
Tell
when
me,
I
tell
look,
me that story. Tell me how you're thinking
well,
about that.
when I see a State Department get a certain amount of money and a military budget be 10 times that, and I see a struggle within government to get people like more basic services, and then that department that got that, I mean, we got out of 20 years of war and the Pentagon got a $50 billion raise. Like, that's shocking to me. Now, I may not understand exactly the ins and outs and the incredible magic of an audit, but I'm a human being who lives on the earth and can't figure out how $850 billion to a department means that the rank and file still have to be on food stamps. Like, to me, that's fucking corruption. I'm sorry. And
look, I got to give it to Jon Stewart here. Big round of applause for Jon Stewart, because he's saying what every American is thinking. And she's just there laughing at his face. Look at her. She got that big smirk. She got a big smirk on her face, because, once again, this is the moment that they failed their 6th audit, right? We just got word today that they failed their 7th audit in a row. But Jon Stewart's trying to get clarification on where the money's going and why these things are happening, and there is no answer.
if that blows your mind, and if you think like that's like a crazy agenda for me to have, I really think that that's institutional thinking, and that it's not looking at the day-to-day reality of the people that you call the greatest fighting force in the world. So I get back to this idea of like, I'm not looking to pick a fight with you, but I am surprised at that the reaction to these questions are, you don't know what an audit is, bucko. Like, that's just weird to me.
Okay.
Wow. That is one of the most craziest. And I think this interview really does not get the credit, or doesn't go out there to the world the way it's supposed to, at least to the United States of America, because a lot of his citizens think the same way Jon Stewart is thinking here. And this is, once again, Jon Stewart, somebody that did not vote for Donald Trump, somebody that thinks differently from a lot of other folks. But guess what? We can all agree on the fact that he's correct here. And he's thinking exactly what we're all thinking. The fact that that was during the 7th audit, that was during the 6th audit in a row. Now we're going on 7 audits in a row that you basically have failed. But you say that progress has been made. So you want to know why somebody like Vivek Ramaswamy is now very attractive to the American people? Well, he's saying what Jon Stewart has been saying. Elon Musk, hey, we need absolutely, we have to find and allocate where this money is going, and we got to clean it up. That's attractive. We want to try that. I want to try that. We should all, as Americans, want to try to see exactly what Vivek Ramaswamy and Elon Musk can cook up here, so that way we can finally start allocating, and maybe the Pentagon cannot fail any more audits. Maybe we can get back on track and figure out what's going wrong here. All right. In other news, I want to talk about this story. This story right here, huge story. Want to talk about allocating money and where our money is going. Let's talk about Ukraine. Big news coming out of Ukraine. The Trump effect is actually a real thing. Take a listen.
Ukraine's President Volodymyr Zelensky has said Russia's war on his country will end sooner than it otherwise would have done with Donald Trump's return to the White House. Mr. Zelensky didn't say whether the president-elect had made any demands about talks with Russia. It comes as Ukraine also accused Germany of attempting to appease Russia after the German Chancellor Olaf Scholz spoke on the phone to Vladimir Putin for the first time in 2 years. Mr. Scholz said he urged President Putin to begin talks with Ukraine to achieve a just peace. Zelensky said the call undermined efforts to isolate Russia. Let's get more on President Zelensky's comments regarding a Trump administration on the war in Ukraine.
Ми великий народ, і ми повинні це довести.
We are a great nation, and we have to prove it. Therefore, I believe that the war will end. There was no exact date, but for sure, I emphasize once again, with the policy of this team that will now lead the White House, the war will end faster.
Wow. Isn't that crazy? You mean to tell me that this whole time, CNN, MSNBC, the White House were saying that this war shouldn't end until Putin is defeated, but Trump becomes president-elect, and all of a sudden, even Vladimir Zelensky is saying that Ukraine war will end sooner under Trump. Come on. Like, I'm just a regular old American. I haven't been covering politics for that long, but what my ears and my eyes are telling me here, right? What I'm getting here is the fact that Trump getting elected now is going to push even Vladimir Zelensky to end this war sooner. Meanwhile, you got Anthony Blinken saying that, well, we should spend all our dollars in Ukraine. And, well, that project has failed. Even Vladimir Zelensky knows that, hey, this needs to end, and it should end sooner than later under Donald Trump.
This is their approach. This is their promise to their society. And it is also very important for them, not only for the sake of Ukraine.
Well, Robert English is a former Pentagon policy analyst who is now
So that's big. That's big. That's big. I kind of want to read the comments under this video real quick. I want to get a sense of BBC real quick. Somebody in the comments said, this war should have never happened. A waste of money and lives. LOL. BBC must be devastated about this. But look at this. But BBC said Ukraine was winning. Poor journalism. You want to talk about why the media is having a hard time after this election? Even BBC is getting cooked. Even the BBC is getting cooked. They're saying, but the BBC said Ukraine was winning. The war will stop because he knows that aid may stop. BBC having to report something positive about Trump. They must be devastated. The world needs peace. Stopping war is what humans want. These are comments under the BBC's video. That guy's right eyebrow is going somewhere else. Land can be reclaimed. Lives can never get back. He switched sides and tongues sooner than I thought. Says Zelensky? No, more like says Trump. So people are starting to realize the Trump effect is actually a real thing. As much as liberals don't want to admit it, Trump getting into office, many people have switched their tones on things like war. I'm hoping the same thing for Israel and Palestine and for Taiwan and China. I'm hoping the same for all. Maybe we were right about this. But once again, we could also be very wrong. Maybe something bad can happen, but I'm hoping that that's not the case. Again, we are all just regular old Americans. We're not college graduates. Some of us in the chat are. Some of you guys got your master's degree. Some of you guys are very, very bright people, but it doesn't take you to be the brightest of them all to realize that this is the way we're headed and this is where we're going. War is not something that we want, specifically knowing that we love to live. We're humans. I'm 27 years old. You think I want to be at war with anybody? I'm 27 years old. Those days are gone. They're done. And when somebody says, I want peace, it kind of becomes very attractive to follow that person. It does. Somebody says, I want to clean it up. Well, that's attractive too. I want to clean up the government. Well, that's very attractive, knowing that I pay taxes. These things become very attractive to voters, which is why Donald Trump won. Oh, we got to clean up crime in the United States of America. Well, many progressives and liberals were arguing that crime didn't exist. Nah, you guys are crazy. That's just a conspiracy theory. Crime is actually down. You guys are just crazy. Or remember this one. This is the best one. Oh, inflation is very high. No, inflation came down. You guys just don't know it. Oh, man. Really? You're going to tell the people of the United States of America that can't afford certain things that, oh, no, the economy is doing amazing. You just are dumb enough. You're just not bright enough to see that. Yeah. Yeah, that's definitely going to win you an election. And other news, real quick, before we get out, if you're just watching this for the first time, somebody said 27 years old is actually the perfect soldier age. Well, better hope I don't go to war, huh? Better hope I don't go to war. I don't want to go to. If I have to die for this country, I would. But if we can avoid that, I would. But trust me, if I have to fight for this country, I would. Why wouldn't I? My family lives here. My nieces live here. If I got to protect my home, I will. But if I got to get drafted, cool. But you think I want that? I don't think I want that. And I don't think you want that for your grandchildren. I don't think we should want that. But if it goes down, best believe I'll be there. Anyways, let me show you something, God. Let me show you something that's very interesting. And I do want to congratulate somebody on this. Let's go to the election numbers real quick. Election results. Let's go here. Just so that way, Donald Trump has 76.4. That is the highest for a Republican ever. He just surpassed 76 million votes. And it's still counting, so he's probably going to get to like 77, maybe. 77 million. That's big. Donald Trump surpasses the most votes by a Republican, popular votes by a Republican ever in history. So there is what you call a mandate by the American people, a mandate that hopefully goes through. I do hope it goes through. So, ladies and gentlemen, make sure to smash the like button. Well, let me know what you guys think about it all. Yeah, well, 81 million, that was the record. I don't think anybody's ever going to get there because, you know, for some reason in 2020, 81 million was a lot. Let's actually go to the 2020 numbers real quick. Election results, 2020 election, 2020 election map, election results. See if we can get it up here. Yeah, so in the 2020 election, Donald Trump only got 74 million, which seems about right? But Joe Biden got 81.2 million. And yeah, that's crazy. Wow, look at that number. Yeah, you should have known that something crazy was going to happen after he was elected when that's the final 3 digits. I didn't even see that. Whoa, 777. Thank you so much for your donations, guys. I appreciate everybody. So that was the 2020 numbers. And then when we go to the 2024 numbers, Donald Trump actually had 76 million and Kamala only 73 million, going on 74 because California is still counting votes. California is at 93%, so there's still a lot of more votes to go. Of course, what else is there to be surprised about as far as that goes? So, all right, ladies and gentlemen, I hope that you can. A lot of people are saying, what happened to those voters? That's a video I already talked about. Got to be careful talking about that. But 81 million compared to 73, big difference. A lot of people didn't come out to vote, or they just probably didn't exist. That's what a lot of people are saying. Some people in here are saying that that's not a coincidence. So somebody said the election is over. Why do I keep talking about old things? What the hell, man? Get out of here. Get out of here, bro. All right, ladies and gentlemen, appreciate everybody here. We're going to be coming back on live in a bit. I do want to talk about a few more things soon about Pete Hegseth and about the claims about him. Also, we want to talk about Matt Gaetz and many other things. So I appreciate you guys. Thank you for being here, and I'll see you guys on the next one.